When someone is truly meant for you, you don't have to chase them. And when it's real, you don't feel confused about where you stand. Let me tell you something most people learn too late. There's a difference between wanting someone and recognizing someone. Wanting is loud, chaotic, restless. It makes your heart race, your thoughts spiral, your sleep disappear. But recognition is quiet. It feels like something inside you finally exhales. Maybe you've felt it before, or maybe you've been mistaking noise for connection your whole life. Because the truth is, when someone is meant for you, your soul doesn't panic. It settles. Not because everything is perfect, but because something deep within you whispers, you don't have to fight for this. And yet, this is where most people get it wrong. They ignore the calm and chase the chaos. They mistake intensity for destiny and peace for boredom. They run toward what hurts them and away from what could actually heal them. So how do you know? How do you truly recognize when someone is meant for you? Not based on fantasies, not based on fear, but something deeper, something real. In this video, we're going to uncover the signs, quiet, powerful, undeniable signs that someone is aligned with your life in a way that doesn't need to be forced. And by the end, you won't just understand love better, you'll understand yourself. Part 1, the connection doesn't feel forced. There's a strange addiction we have as humans. We are drawn to what we have to struggle for. We think, if it's difficult, it must be meaningful. If it hurts, it must be deep. If we have to constantly prove our worth, it must be love. But here's the truth most people avoid. Real connection doesn't feel like a constant negotiation. When someone is meant for you, conversations don't feel like performances. You're not carefully calculating every word. You're not over-analyzing every pause. You're not lying awake wondering, did I say too much? Instead, there's a natural rhythm, like two people speaking the same emotional language without needing subtitles. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." But transformation doesn't always mean chaos. Sometimes it means ease. Think about the difference between wearing shoes that don't fit and finally putting on the right size. The wrong ones might look good, might even impress others, but they hurt the longer you walk in them. The right ones, you almost forget you're wearing them. That's how it feels when someone is meant for you. You don't feel like you have to earn their attention. You don't feel like you're constantly trying to get it right. You just exist. And somehow that's enough. And here's the deeper realization. If something constantly feels forced, it probably is. Not every intense connection is meant to last. Not every spark is meant to become a fire. Sometimes, the absence of struggle is not a lack of passion. It's a sign of alignment. So ask yourself honestly, do you feel like you can breathe around them? Or are you always holding your breath because the right person won't feel like a test you have to pass? They'll feel like a place you can finally rest. Part 2, you feel seen without having to explain yourself. There's a loneliness that exists even when you're not alone. It's the kind of loneliness where you're constantly explaining yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, as if you're translating a language no one else speaks. You simplify your depth, you filter your truth, you shrink parts of yourself just to be understood. And slowly, without realizing it, you start disappearing. But when someone is meant for you, something extraordinary happens. You don't feel the need to over-explain who you are. They see you, not just the version you present, but the version you hide. The version you're still trying to understand yourself. It's in the way they notice the small shifts in your tone, the way they sense when your "I'm fine" isn't actually fine, the way they understand your humor, your fears, your contradictions, without turning them into problems to fix. This is what real connection feels like. Not perfect agreement, but deep recognition. Friedrich Nietzsche once wrote, "It is not a lack of love, but a lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages." And what is friendship at its core? It's being understood, without performance. Think about it like this. Imagine spending your whole life speaking in subtitles, and then suddenly meeting someone who hears you in your original voice. No translation, no distortion, no effort. That's not just chemistry, that's alignment. Because when someone is truly meant for you, they don't just listen to your words, they listen to your being. And here's the truth that might change how you see your past. If you constantly felt misunderstood, if you had to keep explaining your worth, if your emotions were always too much or not enough, it wasn't because you were hard to love. It was because you were speaking to someone who couldn't hear you. The right person doesn't make you question your depth. They meet you in it. So ask yourself, do you feel truly seen, or are you still trying to prove that you deserve to be understood? Because when it's real, you don't feel invisible anymore. You feel recognized. Part 3. You grow without losing yourself. There's a dangerous myth about love that most people carry without questioning, that love requires sacrifice of the self. So people enter relationships and slowly begin to reshape themselves, adjusting their values, silencing their needs, abandoning parts of who they are, just to keep someone from leaving. At first, it feels like compromise, but over time, it becomes quiet self-erasure. And the tragedy is, they call this love. But when someone is truly meant for you, the experience is completely different. You don't feel like you're becoming someone else. You feel like you're finally becoming yourself. Your ambitions don't feel like a threat to them. Your individuality isn't something they try to control. Your growth isn't something they resist. Instead, they support it. They encourage it. They stand beside you, not as someone who completes you, but as someone who expands you. Carl Rogers, the psychologist, once said, "The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change." The right person creates that kind of space. A space where you don't feel pressured to be perfect, but inspired to evolve. Think of it like a tree growing in the right environment. In poor soil, it struggles, twisting, shrinking, barely surviving. But in the right conditions, it grows naturally, fully, without force. That's what aligned love feels like. Not restriction, but expansion. And here's where many people get confused. They mistake control for care. They think jealousy is protection. They believe that being limited is a sign that someone doesn't want to lose them. But real love doesn't cage you. It trusts you. It frees you. It allows you to explore who you are without fear of losing connection. So ask yourself, are you growing in this connection, or are you slowly becoming smaller to fit inside it? Because the right person will never require you to lose yourself just to keep them. They'll walk with you as you become someone even you are proud to meet. Part 4. There is peace, not constant anxiety. Most people don't realize this, but they've confused anxiety with love for so long that calmness feels unfamiliar. They think love is supposed to keep them on edge, checking their phone every few minutes, overthinking every message, feeling uncertain, insecure, unsure of where they stand. And when that anxiety isn't there, they assume something is missing. But nothing is missing. For the first time, something is right. Because when someone is truly meant for you, your nervous system doesn't feel like it's in a constant state of alert. You're not decoding mixed signals. You're not questioning their intentions. You're not wondering if they'll suddenly disappear. There's clarity, and clarity creates peace. The philosopher Lao Tzu once said, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." In the same way, when you let go of chaotic, uncertain love, you create space for something steady, something grounding, something real. Think about the ocean. A storm is loud, dramatic, intense. It demands your attention. But it's also destructive, unpredictable, exhausting. Now think about still water. It may not be as dramatic, but it's deep, steady, life-sustaining. That's the difference. Toxic connections feel like storms. Aligned connections feel like still water. And here's the truth that changes everything. Love was never meant to feel like survival. It was meant to feel like home. A place where you can put your guard down. A place where you don't feel like you're about to lose everything at any moment. A place where your heart isn't constantly preparing for pain. So ask yourself one final question. Does this connection bring you peace, or does it quietly drain you? Because when someone is meant for you, you don't just feel excited around them, you feel safe. Closing reflection, powerful ending. Maybe the reason you've been confused about love is because you were taught to recognize it by intensity, not alignment. Maybe the reason it never felt right is because deep down, it wasn't. But now you know. Love isn't supposed to make you question your worth. It isn't supposed to make you chase clarity. It isn't supposed to feel like a battle you have to win. When someone is meant for you, you don't have to force it. You don't have to prove it. You don't have to survive it. You'll know. Not because it's loud, but because it's clear. Not because it's perfect, but because it's real. And maybe, just maybe, the right person isn't someone you have to find. It's someone you finally recognize when you stop settling for anything less than peace.